sunlight, so cold, sleep is nice. So tired, my eyes fight, they just wanna close back up tight. Get up, hoodie on, hard work at the crack of dawn. This life ain't for the weak ones, no, this life pure only for the strong. Feeling slow, shake it off, don't got time for negative thoughts. Red sight, got the dot, shoot my shot, I want the top. Never lost, got my plot, know my story, I know my boss. I will fight against the clock, time's a limited gift from God. One day I will have my victory, crush all my enemies so viciously. Work so hard my hands are blistering, and they will carve my name in history.
Let me unmute myself. Yo, what is going on, YouTube? We're back at it again with another episode of College Football Recap. What excellent week. We had a lot of upsets this week. I do want to touch on USC. Didn't really perform quite the way I wanted them to. Oklahoma and Dillon Gabriel. Absolutely. What's up, Raphael? What's up, Raphael? Oklahoma and Dillon Gabriel did beat Texas, so that's something we're going to talk about, and also we'll break down the AP like we always do. I don't know if you're watching for now, Raf, but if you want, the link is right up there. If you do want to join, if you're gonna watch, always absolutely a pleasure having you with us. Always holding down the comment section, and then we got Champ in here, the GOAT that is himself. Champ is here, absolutely, Champ. Thank you so much for being here with us. And what's up, Raphael? That being said, guys, a lot of stuff to get to today. We got Oklahoma, like I was just talking about, Dillon Gabriel, Mililani, Hawaii native. You absolutely representing the islands in a good way, going out there and absolutely performing against the Texas defense at home. You know, that stadium, Texas Longhorns Stadium, was rocking. They got them going in a big back and forth game. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to find Nick to seal it in regulation for that touchdown. So absolutely, Nick Anderson is the one that caught the touchdown. There's a lot to break down on this game, but we're going to begin in the SC versus Arizona first. And then, to be honest with you guys, I watched the Texas game, but it didn't end up, I had to do a lot of stuff in the middle of it. So it really didn't catch the middle, but did watch the beginning and the end. But a game that I did watch fully is none other than my USC Trojans, which I absolutely I don't know what I feel right now. We ran out there and we didn't do so good at first. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, we started the first 4 possessions with punt and turnover, I believe it was, or it was a punt, turnover, and then punt. We punted a lot for the first for the first quarter. The second quarter, we punted a lot for the first couple of drives there, and our defense was able to kind of bring us life and kind of held on to it. Like, I get it, I understand that our defense has definitely been the problem as of late. I think we're ranked at 100, nothing close to where we want to be. But at the end of the day, SC and Arizona is what we're going to be talking about. At the end of the day, let me just get a banner. I should have had a banner for you guys to understand what's going on and what am I talking about for you guys that you maybe join late or anything like that, or watching after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that defense definitely needs to be playing better at playing at a higher level. If we're gonna make anything out of ourselves this year, but at the end of the day, we did only hold them. Well, obviously they gave up more points towards the end, and they ended up scoring on us. They took us into triple overtime. So I'm definitely not praising our defense by any means. But what I will say is, we should have. We should have played better offensively. We shouldn't have got into that situation, period. Obviously, our offense woke up late. Thank you on our defense for keeping us in the game, waiting for our offense to show up. And that's what I am proud about this defense, because even though we did give up 42 points at the end of it. We did take it into triple overtime. We did have some picks that actually helped out this offense. You know what I'm saying? And also, we did make a key stop when it really matters to win the game in triple overtime. our defense, it was 41 for 43. Our defense literally stopped them at a time where, you know, it mattered the most. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, guys. I apologize. Trying to do this and talk at the same time is counterproductive. But you know, that being said, you just tick that across the bottom. That being said, though, we definitely have a lot of stuff to clean up, man. With this team, period. Like, we're gonna see Notre Dame next week. That's gonna be a really tough out. They just lost against Louisville, and you can call it mentally drained. They had Arizona, they had Ohio State. I'm sorry, they had Ohio State. They had Duke. They had a lot of good teams back to back, and then now they're gonna see us. And then this is where the tough schedule for us begins, because we are gonna have to see the Washingtons later on in the year. We are gonna have to see the Oregons later on in the year. And playing the way we've been playing is not gonna benefit into end goal of where we want to be. A lot of players need to step up on this team, and it all starts with coaching too. Sometimes as much as I respect Lincoln Riley and I love his demeanor of like it's just a casual, just like he never really been a yeller, even at Oklahoma and before that, he never been really, he does, but not really. He's more of a casual state, you know what I'm saying? That I am kind of, it all starts up top on getting this team prepared, and then he's not going to change, but I would love to see them at least get more fired up, and when things are not necessarily going right for them. Obviously, cool, calm, and collective is going to keep you hanging in games against Arizona, but you're going to need to change some stuff if you're going to ever compete in the national playoffs, in the college football playoffs. You're going to need to change some stuff, and you can't go out there laggy-dally. And on defense, you absolutely need to step up if you guys are going to go and win against, the Georgias of the world, the Michigans of the world, and yet alone in your own conference, the Washingtons and the Oregons and the Notre Dames and the Utahs of the world that we got coming up. Let's just touch on Notre Dame real fast and speak on that. That game should be a tough game for us. Notre Dame is coming off of that loss against Louisville, and I am going to be watching that game closely. I hope that USC can pull out the victory. I probably think we will. I'm pretty confident in this team to do that. But that being said, we are the underdogs going in against Notre Dame. What Notre Dame are we gonna get? We're gonna get a tough. I can tell you this. We're probably gonna get a tough. Hard-nosed Notre Dame is gonna go out there and try to give us our first loss on the season, because their championship hopes is just taken away from them. That's what kind of team we're gonna get in Notre Dame. We're going to get Marcus Freeman preparing his team for a really tough out and try to sneak us, out of the college football rankings. Not even rankings, but just playoff hopes, because if this team loses to Notre Dame, I don't think we have a shot against the Washingtons and the Oregons of the world, especially with the Bo Nix and the Michaels coming up, the next juniors, you know what I'm saying? We'd have no shot against those guys, and those guys are clearly ranked better than us at the point where I like to point out, kind of mad at that, but at the end of the day, I'm not, because they clearly believe the AP rankings and the press and the voters believe, all these sports writers believe that Washington and Oregon is better teams than us, and I'm not going to complain in that. I'm not going to complain, because our defense to Arizona for even taking us into triple overtime we shouldn't have even been there. This is such a disappointment on a SC side. Like, I get it, we lost. We won. I get it, we won and we didn't lose. But at the end of the day, we have a lot to improve on if we ever gonna have any hopes of anything. Shout out Caleb Williams, though, doing Caleb Williams things. Always gonna perform at the highest level, no matter what it is. But I'd like to see him, continue down this path. Hopefully he repeats the Heisman, because I want him to. But we have tough challenges ahead of us, and we'll see how that goes. That being said, let's move on to Oklahoma versus Texas. Oklahoma did upset Texas, you know what I'm saying, and that was That was a nice game for Oklahoma there. Shout out to Dillon Gabriel, man. Dillon Gabriel, absolutely a Mililani native from Hawaii. I said it early on in the show, man. Absolutely went out there and did his thing, and that's what college football is about. He said at the end of the game, he lives for these kind of moments. This is the reason why he transferred to Oklahoma from USF. I believe he played at before, is for moments like this. He had over 8,000 yards at USF. He transferred to Oklahoma. Fortunately, he couldn't make the game last year, obviously, because he got hurt before the game. But for him to make this big, important game, rivalry game, we always love Oklahoma versus Texas. And for him to come out there and perform at the highest level, obviously, a lot of mistakes. It's football. You can clean stuff up. But when it really matters, he went out there and he got the victory against the third ranking best team in the nation in Texas. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely love to see a Hawaiian native from Mililani, you know what I'm saying, representing Hawaii, you know what I'm saying, go out there and ball out. Now, I have to be completely honest with you guys, I didn't fully watch the game fully. Like I said earlier, I kind of dabbled in and out of it. But that being said, shout out to Dillon Gabriel. Amazing win against Texas. I want to see how they rank in the AP rankings, which we're gonna look at here in a second. That being said, Notre Dame did take that loss against Louisville. That's pretty tough, man. This is a tough one for me. Reason because I was hoping that Notre Dame, I really love what they're building there. I love Marcus Freeman. I love the culture. We see them next week. I don't, obviously, SC does. But that being said, they let one get ahead of them. I don't know if they was looking forward to this big matchup against SC, but they totally wasn't performing at their best. You know what I'm saying? They let Louisville dominate them. Louisville just shows you how tough of a program that school is. You know what I'm saying? Sam Hartman throwing 3 interceptions on the day, which was highly unusual. Never threw an interception this whole his whole season, coming in at 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and to throw 3 on the day. Man, not good at all. Shout out to Louisville's defense, absolutely stepping up, doing what they do best. You know what I'm saying? Playing good football, fundamental football, not making that much mistakes. Really taking it to Notre Dame and playing a physical game at Notre Dame. That being said, we're going to be looking at the rankings, guys, and we'll see where the Louisville gets ranks, where the Notre Dame get. How far they did, how far did they fall? A lot of tongue twisting words there. I believe I peeked on it for a little bit, watching that is what was I gonna say? Watching NFL, I peeked at it a little bit, seeing that SC fell out, and we dropped the spot for winning the game. Totally understand, though, not trying to hate too much. But that being said, guys, let's get it going. We got the ads just in front of our face as soon as we opens up the page. So obviously Texas was the number 1 team, but they end up falling. So now we do have Florida State and Ohio State moving up respectively. So now the AP rankings looks like Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Florida State. I do want to take some time to say that, I thought Michigan should have been number 1. I thought Texas should have been number 2, and Georgia should have been number 3. That being said, I was absolutely wrong. Georgia is gonna always remain number 1 until beaten. They're on a 22 win streak, and I guess a lot of that has to tie into this season. Respectable. And then we got Michigan. We got Michigan at number 2, which is obviously, Michigan's playing like the best team in the nation right now. It looks like they got a really great defense, respected there. Ohio State, obviously, a really, really tough offense. Why is my computer spazzing right now? A really tough offense. Really good proven head coach, good proven team. Can't even hate on that. And then Florida State, man. Florida State, they're not gonna fall because at the end of the day, they did beat your Clemson's of the world. They did beat your, I believe, LSU's of the world. So that being said, Florida State is gonna remain there. Oklahoma moves to 5th. I do like this after that big win against Texas. Why am I slaughtering my speech right now? I do like this. I do like that big win against Texas, moving them to 5. Now, me personally, I don't know what we did to the commission or why the commission hates us, but they do. So I'm just gonna not even try to be biased on SC right now. Me personally thinks that SC should at least be above Penn State, but we got Penn State, up being. I'm not trying to hate. Penn State has a good damn football team. They're the only team to hand West Virginia their loss. West Virginia is a great football team. I'm not trying to hate on Penn State, but you got Penn State at 6. You got Washington and Oregon at 7 and 8, respectively. Gonna understand that. Washington with Michael Penix Jr., Oregon with Bo Nix, both offensive nightmares to deal with on the offensive side of the football. And then also, if you look at the defensive side, both teams have excellent defenses. We look at Texas up next. Texas is obviously taking that loss to Oklahoma, but still being above us at 6-0. Which you know what, I don't understand this, but I'm gonna get through it. They're gonna hate on SC. Let them hate on SC. When we beat Notre Dame, I want to see how far we drop. Then, watch it. We're gonna beat these teams, and we're still gonna be moving down. But it's okay. Let them hate on SC. We got Alabama at 11, respectable. So Alabama's still one of the best college football schools of all time, and obviously they're always going to dominate, always going to be respected. Kind of slipped up against LSU, but that being said, we'll diverse. Sorry, I didn't even beat LSU. I'm sorry. Texas slipped up against Texas. Why was I having LSU in my mind? Slipped up against Texas. I'm sorry, guys. We got North Carolina coming in at 12 with Drake May, jumping Ole Miss. Louisville going from 25th, jumping off 11 spots to number 14. Really like that. We got Oregon State at number 15 to round it off the top 15. I like that. A lot of Pac-12 teams in the top 15. Pac-12 teams for the last chance. Oh, what's up? USC defense does suck, Chris. What's up, Chris? Thank you for being here. And I can't even complain on that. SC's defense is absolutely sucks. That's why, we're not ranked. And triple overtime, man, Arizona. That's disgusting. Absolutely agree on that. We need to clean that up. We got Utah and Duke and UCLA and Washington State rounding up to number 19. Shout out to the Pac-12. I was going to say before I pulled up Chris' comment is man, for Oregon, for a conference that is getting destroyed, all the teams came out in fashion. So shout out to that. Shout out to the Pac-12. And to wind up the last 25 teams, we got Tennessee, Notre Dame falls with that 2 losses to 21. We got LSU at 22, Kansas at 23. We got Kentucky. Even though they did take a loss against Georgia, they're still a respectable program, and 99% of teams will lose to Georgia. And then we have Miami coming in at 25th, and that was a tough upset again. That's another one we didn't talk on, is that upset against the U. Wake Forest, I believe, upset them. Didn't see that one coming. Wake Forest really played them good. Didn't really watch that game fully, guys, so I'm not even going to try to talk on something I didn't watch. But that being said, man, I really thought Florida was going to beat Wake Forest. Well, unfortunately, they didn't. We got Missouri coming in, Wyoming. Air Force is moving closer. Still not ranked, but it's fine. We're gonna root for Air Force with the best one game and the best defense in the nation. Obviously, who are they playing? But we're gonna root for them, and we want West Virginia to be there too. I think West Virginia is an awesome team. I want to see Air Force and West Virginia move up. Maryland obviously had a tough loss against Ohio State this weekend, so that's going to move them obviously not closer to the main goal of getting in. But that is going to be the AP Top 25, guys. It was Georgia Tech. Absolutely, Chris. Thank you for that information. Really appreciate that. And yeah, we're kind of surprised on that one, Chris, because I really thought that the U was going to come out there and beat them, but unfortunately Georgia Tech did. And I don't know why I said Wake Forest when it was Georgia Tech. I got confused with all the colors. UFC has the same colors too, man. All these colors looking the same, and totally got confused on that. So thank you for that. It was a Georgia Tech. But that being said, guys, that was the top 25 rankings. A little bit shorter episode for this week, guys, but I appreciate you guys all joining up. And if you guys are watching after the fact, we are going to be doing this every week. We're going to be recapping the college football schedule. Really didn't watch that much games this week. Wanted to get to them, but unfortunately I couldn't. I dedicate one day Sunday to to the National Football League that it's kind of really hard to dedicate my full weekend to watching football. So that's why this is going to be a shorter episode. And unfortunately, we got no callers today. Miami could actually bounce back against North Carolina this week. And I absolutely love that, Chris. Miami could definitely do that. That's a good matchup for them. Drake May hasn't been playing the best defense, but obviously, been playing good as a team. I want to see Miami go out there and at least compete and make it a great game against North Carolina. And we never know what could happen. That being said, Chris, really appreciate you being here. Really appreciate you joining in for a bit, Raphael, and obviously Champ. Thank you guys so much. Shorter episode this week, but if you guys are watching the program, keep tuned weekly. We are going to be recapping all of the latest, greatest college football games, and then eventually moving on, we might have some guests call in and make it a little bit longer episodes. I know last week's went for like an hour. Usually it's going to be anywhere from that 20-minute mark to 30-minute mark if I'm alone. But then if we do get guests, we are going to extend it, obviously, and we make it to an hour. It is just a short recap today. Really, really appreciate you guys being here as we recapped all of those games. Fast recap. We do have some upcoming matchups, I guess we can talk about before we get out of here. And that's going to be Notre Dame versus SC. If we go out there and play the same defense that we did against Arizona, Notre Dame's going to hand us our first loss of the season. And I know a lot of people had, even before the season started, a lot of people had Notre Dame beating us. So I like to see SC go out there and have a really good game against against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to be playing with a lot of pride. They want to go and they want to give us our first loss. So I want to see us come out there and want to see us fight. Now, we are going to be breaking down Oregon versus Washington. I'll probably do a video on that game. So I'll probably not touch on it too much here. But Oregon versus Washington is going to be a really great game for the Pac-12, for the college football rankings, what it really all means in this season of college football, when it comes down to these high-ranking quarterbacks like Bo Nix and like Michael Penix Jr. That being said, that's going to be a really, really fun watch. I can't wait for that game. That is the highlight of the weekend. If you ask me, it's going to be that Oregon versus Washington game. Not going to give you guys a pick just yet on that one, but that's going to be a bomb game. We also have, like Chris pointed out, Miami could bounce back against North Carolina. That should be a fun game as well. If you guys want to tune into that one, that's going to be the number 25th Miami going against the number 12th UNC with Drake May. That's obviously going to be a fun matchup, a really exciting matchup. Can North Carolina defend their house? Can the Tar Heels defend their home? Is Miami, the U, going to go up there to North Carolina after receiving a suffocating loss against Georgia Tech and you handle business? We'll see what happens. That's going to be an exciting watch. And then to wrap up the night, I guess we have UCLA versus Oregon State. Let's touch on that one for a bit. Absolutely. We got Kentucky again losing Georgia versus Missouri that just lost to LSU. So we got both losing teams. Thank you for pointing that one out, Chris. We got both losing teams that is going to be matching up again against each other. And Jesus, my bad, guys. And then it's going to be fun to see how they match up. Good football teams as well. Good football teams going up against each other. Absolutely. And to round up the day, we got another Pac-12 UCLA versus Oregon State. UCLA just came off of that, big upset against Washington State, but they did lose against Utah. Utah is a tough out for any team, but they do play that Oregon State team that is, coming off of that loss to Washington State, but that win against Utah. So it's funny, they have both teams, both losses, but one team lost against Utah, one team won against Utah, one team lost against Washington State, one team won against Washington State. And obviously Oregon State's coming off of that big win against California as well, against Cal. So that being said, that is going to be a game that we're all going to be excited to watch in the Pac-12. But yeah, we got a lot of great games going on this season, guys. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe down below. Thank you, Hardcore Sports Network, for hosting me always. Shout out to them. That being said, man, Chris, you held chat down. Thank you so much. Raphael and Champ, you guys was in here earlier. Really appreciate that. And if you're watching after the fact, Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. It really helps with the algorithm, man. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Peace and blessings with all of you guys. Y'all have a blessed day, and let's get it.